There's an evergreen financial question out there, and that is, should you buy or lease your vehicles? Well, we've got an added twist to that story right now, and that is with all the innovation and technology and automation coming to the automobile, does that now change the answer? Should you shift more? Should more people be leasing instead of buying because of all the disruption and changes happening in the automobile industry? I've got some ideas coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Have you seen this thing? Take a look at this. This is a flying car, a flying car that GM, General Motors, unveiled, just revealed last week. It caught everyone by surprise. They're going headlong, everyone is, into the electric vehicle, or EV if you're trying to be cool. And but GM came out and said, listen, look at this. We're going to make a flying Cadillac, I believe is what that is. I don't know. I had a friend of mine tell me I've got to watch Westworld. And the first 2 seasons were great. The 3rd season was just weird, you know, as a futuristic and everything. I'm pretty sure GM got the idea from the stuff going on in Westworld. Like that, it just looks like that. So anyway, but it just kind of begs the question. There's so much technology going into vehicles, so much that should you buy a vehicle if it's just going to be obsolete because the tech is just old, 3 years later? And then should you buy a vehicle if you might not even need a vehicle in a few years? I mean, we are redefining transportation. We obviously saw how Uber and Lyft disrupted the transportation industry, especially in big metropolitan cities. Those yellow things are sort of, well, not as needed as much. But it even has people questioning, well, do I even need to own a car? Because how often in your day, here in the Midwest, we don't use Ubers a lot and taxis a lot, it's more spread out. And so you own a car, you pay the insurance on it for the entire time you own it, and obviously, you got to gas the thing and all that. But I have a 10-minute drive to work, 10 minutes back, 15 minutes to baseball practice, 15 minutes back. I mean, I need my vehicle when I need it, but on any given 24-hour period, I'm really in my vehicle for maybe 30 minutes or maybe an hour. And so should I get rid of that cost of insuring and having a vehicle and instead just use Uber or Lyft? Well, this is a big question. It's always been a question of should you buy or should you lease. In my opinion, the technology and the disruption is coming. And just like how your cell phone used to be, where the technology of the next cell phone made your existing one obsolete. And remember how quickly you needed to replace your iPhone, and it was every 2 years, that sort of stuff, and you just couldn't wait to get the new one because there were so many new features. Well, those features are there's a sort of diminishing return. They're making enhancements with each new one, but it hasn't made the last one obsolete. We're not seeing that. We actually could start seeing that in vehicles with some of the technology and automation, self-driving stuff, and the electric vehicle stuff. Right now, if you need a new car, I would still purchase instead of lease, okay? I would still purchase instead of lease. I believe that technology and the disruption is coming. And I can't see the future, and I know you can't either. And if you're a car junkie and if you love looking at this stuff, you're probably pretty excited about the enhancements and the changes that are coming. To me, I just think it's going to take a little bit longer than we all expect for there to be self-driving cars and certainly even flying vehicles. So I think you're probably still safe to buy a new vehicle, and that over 5 and 10 years, the tech will improve and we might get closer. This might be your last vehicle that you buy or that you buy without certain automation, but I still think that full adjustment is far enough away that I'd have you buy as opposed to lease. Now, if you need a new car, and you always need a new car, that's when you should lease, okay? And I'm saying need, not want. If you work in a profession that requires you to have a certain age vehicle or newer, then leasing makes a ton of sense. And so what sort of, if you work in a factory or if you're in a normal job, you might say, whose job requires that you have to have a new car? Pharmaceutical reps, lots of sales reps. You might be a realtor and saying, hey, my car is my image, my car is my office, my car I take clients around in, I can't have a junker. And so if you need to constantly have a new car every 3 years or so, don't buy new, and you can't buy used there, so you're wasting money. You've got to have a lot of money carved out in your business or in your budget for vehicles, and you should be leasing. But if that's not you, if you don't need a new car at all times, then I think you buy. Buy new or buy used, that's your choice. I actually think used have maintained values really well, and used don't have as much tech as new right now. So I think that decision's being challenged right now. I would still buy new. Now, then here's the question. Do you buy new with all the gadgets and gizmos, and do you go for broke with the new car? I wouldn't, even if you can afford it. Just because, again, I think cars, the features are going out of style. They're becoming obsolete so quickly. There's probably going to be something in the next year, or the next 2 years, or the next 3 years where you're going to say, oh, I paid for everything and I don't have everything. And so I'm not sure I would pay premium top dollars to get all the bells and whistles, because you're wanting the bells and whistles, and that's what's being made obsolete so quickly. So let me boil it down. I don't know the future. Okay, you don't either. When it comes to buying a vehicle in today's world, with all the innovation, disruption that's coming, and potentially none of us owning cars anymore, just having automated, self-driving Ubers, Lyfts, or flying vehicles. Today, if you need a vehicle, what do? I would still buy. I'm leaning more towards new and keeping the car for 10, 12, 15 years. That'll probably be the last car you buy, okay? I would only lease right now if you need a new vehicle and you continue to need new vehicles because of your job or whatever, all right? And right now, you got to make a buy new, buy used decision. Everyone's circumstance is different. Dave Ramsey continues to say, buy that clunker, buy that clunker, buy that clunker. Right now, those clunkers are maintaining their value, so you'd be paying a lot more for them. I'd consider, if you can afford it, I'd consider new right now over used. But every person's got to sit down with their certified financial planner, look at all of their financial priorities and all of their entire financial situation, and say, which one makes the most sense for me? The automobile interruption and change is so exciting, very fun. I don't think it changes much of your decision yet today. So work with your CFP, apply that to your situation. If you don't have a CFP, you can always contact me and my team. You can find us online, corehorn.com or wisemoneyshow.com, or send us an email, info@corehorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.